Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya
Jaya
Nityananda
Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta
श्री
Vrinda
चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय। श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय। हाँ, श्रील गौर किशोर दास बाबाजी महाराज तिरोभाव दिवस तिथि की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्री भीष्म पंचक की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita reading. So today's plan is we will read one or two verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita just so that we'll keep the continuity, otherwise we'll forget the connection. And then I will read from about the life of Srila Gaura Kisor Das babaji Maharaj, since today is the disappearance day of Srila Gaura Kisor Das babaji Maharaj. So let's first read Chaitanya Charitamrita. What were we reading yesterday? In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, what were we reading? Text 119. So Mahaprabhu is delivering all the people in South India. So day before yesterday, the previous class, what we read was that the mercy that Mahaprabhu showed in South India, that type of mercy he didn't give in Navadvip. How everyone was becoming an acharya. And there was a whole parampara that is created. Parampara means connection, like a succession. So one person would be touched by Mahaprabhu's mercy, and that person, whomever he would touch, that those people would become pure devotees. And then those people, whomever they would touch, they would become pure devotees. And those people would touch someone else and they would become pure devotees. In this way, there was a whole chain of pure devotees formed. Not one, many, many chains. And Mahaprabhu traveled up to the end of South India, which is Setubandha. And everyone on the way, he just filled up the whole of South India with devotees. Now, somebody may say, no, there Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami said, who can understand this? Who can understand how Mahaprabhu is transforming? Only one who, by doing pure devotional service, receives the Lord mercy can understand. That's what we read yesterday. So this, I think we started at 10 yesterday. I can just quickly go over 110. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu empowering, this is text 110. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu empowering, Mahaprabhu's empowering of others can be understood by one who is actually a devotee of the Lord and who has received his mercy. If one does not believe in the uncommon transcendental pastimes of the Lord, he is vanquished both in this world and in the next. So anyone who does not accept this is vanquished. Whatever I have stated about the beginning of the Lord's tour should also be understood to hold for as long as the Lord toured South India. That means this was just at the beginning, as Mahaprabhu started from Jagannath Puri going towards South India. When he would see someone, he would tell them to chant like that. But this is not just at the beginning of his travels. He did this throughout his travels all the way till the end, not just in the end and beginning, but throughout. Every day this was his activity. When Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to the holy, we also read about Kurmakshetra. He came to the holy place known as Kurmakshetra. He saw the deity and offered prayers and obeisances. While at this place, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in his usual ecstasy of love of Godhead and was laughing, crying, dancing and chanting. Everyone who saw him was astonished. After hearing of these wonderful occurrences, everyone came to see him there. So those who were not there, who didn't see him, they heard about him. They also came to see him. When they saw the beauty of the Lord and his ecstatic condition, they were all struck with wonder. Just by seeing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everyone became a devotee. They began to chant Krishna and Hari and all the holy names. They all were merged in a great ecstasy of love. This thing hurts the ear. Okay. They all were merged in a great ecstasy of love, and they began to dance, raising their arms. Whoever came to see Mahaprabhu in Kurmakshetra. Always hearing them chant the holy names of Lord Krishna, the residents of all the other villages also came, and they became Vaishnavas. Simply by hearing these people who saw Mahaprabhu and became devotees, simply by hearing them chant the holy names, people of neighboring villages, simply by hearing this chanting, they all became Vaishnavas. By hearing the holy name of Krishna, the entire country became Vaishnava. It was as if the nectar of the holy name of Krishna overflooded the entire country. Next verse. Kotokshane Prabhu jadi bahya prakashila kurmera sevaka bahu sammana korila. Kotokshane, after some time. So like this, Mahaprabhu is in ecstasy. He's dancing and singing and crying in ecstasy, seeing Kurmadev offering obeisances, right? Then seeing him, everyone crowded around him and they are chanting and they are becoming pure devotees like this. After some time, Kotokshane, Prabhu jadi bahya prakashila, if Mahaprabhu came to external consciousness, right? Because now when he's in ecstasy, he's not aware of what's going on around. He's just in his, in his bhava. So, but if for some moments, after some moments, if Mahaprabhu came to external consciousness, Kurmera Sevaka Bahu Sammana Korila, then they offered, they honored Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in various ways, who the servants of Kurma Bhagwan, the priests there, they honored Mahaprabhu very nicely. After some time, when Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifested his external consciousness, a priest of the Lord Kurma deity gave him various offerings. Bahu Sammana Korila. Jai grame jaye taha ei vyavahar ekathai kohilo na kohibo arabar. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, Jai grame jaye taha ei vyavahar. Whichever village, so now he just gave the example of Kurmagram, Kurmakshetra. But in whichever village Mahaprabhu went, It is the same story. Wherever he would go, he would be dancing in ecstasy, and seeing him, all the people would just go mad. They would all become Vaishnavas. They would be chanting, and then all other neighboring villages hearing them, they would all become devotees. Ek athai kohelo. I told one, na kohevo ar bar. I'm not going to say this for each and every village what he did. And I said once, you understand, this is what is happening. It happened in each and every village. I'm not going to repeat it again and again. Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami saying, Ek athai kohelo, na kohevo ar bar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mode of preaching has already been explained, and I shall not repeat the explanation. In whichever village the Lord entered, his behavior was the same. कूर्म नामे से ही ग्रामे वैदिक ब्राह्मण बहु श्रद्धा भक्त्य कोइलो प्रभुर निमंत्रण. Kurma name sei gram. In that same village, Kurma gram, there was a brahmana named Kurma. Natural, right? So wherever, like if you go to Mayapur or in Navadvip, what type of names do you find of devotees? All Chaitanyas only. Gaura, Chaitanya, like that, their names. Uh, uh, because it is the place of Mahaprabhu. So whoever, all the devotees who get initiated there or who live there, most of them will get names like that. Related to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. So what will you expect in Kurma Gram? It's natural, right? So the devotees, the people there, the devotees, their names are after Kurma. So there was one Brahmana whose name was Kurma Brahmana, where in that village of Kurma Kshetra. Kurma name sei grame Vaidika Brahmana. There was a Vedic Brahmana. Bahu Shraddha Bhakti Koilo Prabhura Nimantrana. With great respect and with great devotion, he invited Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his home to take prasad. In one village, there was a Vedic Brahmana named Kurma. He invited Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his home with great respect and devotion. The rest we will read tomorrow because we have to read about Srila Gaura Kisor Das babaji Maharaj. But what happened with this Kurma Brahmana, that we will read later on. So now, let's read about Srila Gaura Kisor Das babaji Maharaj. Gaura Kisor Das babaji.
Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu found Brahma Samhita at this Kurma Kshetra only, or it was some different place?
I think it's the same, but I'm not able to recollect exactly. I think it's the same. We'll find out.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Srila Gaura Kisor Das babaji Maharaj, today is the Tirobhav Divas, Tithi of Srila Gaura Kisor Das babaji Maharaj. Who is Srila Gaura Kisor Das babaji Maharaj? He is the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master is Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. His spiritual master is Srila Gaura Kisor Das babaji Maharaj. And what is the pranam mantra for Srila Gaura Kisor Das babaji Maharaj? Namo Gaura Kisoraya Sakshad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambha Rasambode Padambujayate Namaha. Namo Gaura Kisoraya Sakshad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambha Rasambode Padambujayate Namaha. Namo Gaura Kisoraya Sakshad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambha Rasambode Padambujayate Namaha. So for us, because we come in this disciplic succession, at least up to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that means on the day of our spiritual master's Vyas Puja, then Srila Prabhupada, his spiritual master Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his spiritual master Srila Gaura Kisor Das babaji Maharaj, and his spiritual master Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. up to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, on their appearance and disappearance day, we must observe a half-day fast, and we must celebrate by, preparing a bhoga, if possible, a nice feast for the Acharya, and then do Pushpanjali. So today is the disappearance day of Srila Gaura Kisor Das Babaji Maharaj. We will read about him today. In 1849, Srila Gaura Kisor Das babaji left Grihastha life after the death of his wife. So you can understand the timeline. 1849, he left Grihastha ashram. He moved to Vrindavan and took initiation from Sri Bhagavat Das babaji, a disciple of Sri Jagannath Das babaji. For over 30 years, Gaur Kishore Das stayed in Vrindavan, performing bhajan under the trees at Giri Govardhan for 30 years. Nandagram, Varshana, Radhakund, Suryakund, Raval, Gokul. Sitting in seclusion, he chanted 200,000 names. So that will be 128 rounds of Krishna every day, 128 rounds of japa. He felt painful separation from Radha Govinda and cried profusely. As he wandered through the Dwadasha Vana, 12 forests of Raja, he would loudly chant the holy names in a deep voice full of lamentation. He would also relish the following bhajan. Kothai go premamai Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe go Jai Radhe Radhe. देखो दिया प्राण राखो राधे राधे, तुम्हार कंगाल तुम्हारे डाके राधे राधे. राधे वृंदावन विलासिनी राधे राधे, राधे कानु मनोमोहिनी राधे राधे. राधे अष्ट सखीर शिरोमणि राधे राधे, राधे वृषभानु नंदिनी राधे राधे. So he would be relishing this bhajan. O Radhe Radhe, where are you? O goddess of ecstatic love. O Radhe Radhe, all glories to you, O Radhe Radhe. O Radhe Radhe, please show yourself to me and thereby maintain my life. Your most despicable fallen servant calls out to you. O Radhe Radhe, O Radhe, O artful enjoyer of Vrindavan. O Radhe Radhe, O Radhe, O enchantress of Kanus, Krishna's mind. O Radhe Radhe, O Radhe, O crest jewel of your 8 main girlfriends. O Radhe Radhe, O Radhe, O delightful daughter of Maharaj Vrishabhanu. O Radhe Radhe. Srila Babaji Maharaj's mood of renunciation was unparalleled. Sometimes he ate mud from the banks of Radhakund or the Yamuna. Other times he took madhukari from the Vrajvasis. Madhukari is a Babaji's daily practice of begging a little food from 1 to 7 houses, just as a bee collects a drop of honey from each flower. He saw all the Vrajvasis, residents of Vrindavan, as being the direct personal associates of Radha and Krishna. He would see all the Vrajvasis as the direct personal associates of Radha and Krishna. As a result of this vision, he would pay respects to every person, cow, animal, bird, tree, creeper, insect, ant in the holy dham. While staying in Varshana, he made a flower garland every day for Rai and Kanu, Radha Krishna. For 30 years of rendering intimate services to Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan, after 30 years of rendering intimate services to Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan, Babaji felt inspired by the divine couple to see Sri Navadvip Dham. He visited all the Leela Sthanas of Lord Gauranga in Gaura Mandala. In Navadvip, he used to sing one bhajan, which means, by receiving Nitai's mercy, one gets Gauranga's mercy, which makes one eligible for Krishna Prema. What is that? By receiving Nitai's mercy, one gets Gauranga's mercy, which makes one eligible for Krishna Prema. With Krishna Prema, one can attain the service of Srimati Radharani and the gopis. So what is the highest? To get service of Srimati Radharani and the gopis. Gaura Kisor Das babaji was the embodied form of Sri Rupa Raghunath's renunciation. Gaura Kisor Das babaji was the embodiment. Namo Gaura Kisoraya Sakshad Vairagya Murtaye. He is the embodiment of Vairagya. Gaura Kisor Das babaji was the embodied form of Sri Rupa Raghunath's renunciation. Completely detached. So, after several generations, right? Rupa Raghunath Goswamis are direct disciples of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Gaur Kishore Das babaji is the embodiment of the renunciation of Rupa and Raghunath Goswamis. Completely detached, he would wash discarded cloth. So somebody would throw their used cloth, he would take that, wash it, and cover his body. He drank from a rejected clay pot. Like, they would throw away clay pots in India. After you don't reuse them. Once offered and eaten from, they just throw them away. That's the opulence in India. Here, you keep reusing them again and again. But he would take such discarded clay pot, parched rice, mixed with Ganges water, or simply some mud from Ganga's bank, sustained his life. He carried 2 books written by Sri Narottam Das Thakur, Prarthana, Prema Bhakti Chandrika. On Ekadasi, he didn't eat or drink a drop of water. Today's Ekadasi. And he disappeared on Ekadasi. On Ekadasi, he didn't eat or drink a drop of water. Recognizing him to be a Mahabhagavat, many tried to serve him, but he never accepted service. Regularly, he associated with and heard Srimad Bhagavatam from Srila Thakur Bhakti Vinod in Swananda Sukhada Kunj in Godrum Dweep, Swarupganj. Constantly absorbed in bhajan, Srila Babaji Maharaj had no desire to make disciples. On the request of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, however, he reconsidered. Upon seeing the true humility and deep attachment of Thakur Bhaktivinod's son for bhajan, Srila Gaura Kisor Das babaji accepted one disciple, Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Das, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So he had only one disciple. To keep mundane people from approaching him for material boons, he once resided in the lavatories, like public lavatories. You know how they are in India, right? The public lavatories. So, to keep mundane and back then, to keep mundane people from approaching him for material boons, he once resided in the lavatories at the Kulia Dharmashala in Koladweep for 6 months. He lived in the lavatories for 6 months. When public officials came offering to build him a proper bhajan kutir, Babaji Maharaj locked himself inside and said he already had one. My God. So they said, we want to build you a kutir. So he locked himself inside a lavatory and said, I have one kutir already. He believed that associating with materialistic people was much worse than the smell of stool in the latrine. Associating with materialistic people was much worse than the smell of stool and urine in the latrine. Gaur Kishore Das babaji advised a Calcutta doctor who wanted to open a free health clinic in Navadvip Dham. So there was a doctor from Calcutta who wanted to open a free clinic in Navadvip. So Gaur Kishore Das babaji is instructing him or advising him. If you really want to live in Navadvip Dham, then give up your desire to run a free clinic for healing sense enjoyers. Right? Why do you want to open a clinic here? To cure sense enjoyers? give up that desire. If you want to render substantial service, then renounce everything. Give up your profession. Accept what promotes Hari Bhajan. Do only that. That means you do just direct devotional service, which is promoting Hari Bhajan. Give up everything else. All other kinds of duties and services simply bind one to the ghastly cycle of karmic reactions. This is how he would preach. Babaji Maharaj spoke gravely to a newly married man. A Vaishnava wife is extremely rare and difficult to find in this world. Babaji Maharaj is speaking. A Vaishnava wife is extremely rare and difficult to find in this world. If one has the good fortune of having one, he should see it as a benediction from Krishna. The wife worships the husband as her lord and master. Similarly, the husband should worship the wife because she is Krishna Dasi, a servant of Krishna. In this way, the husband can protect his devotional enthusiasm by not considering his wife to be his maidservant, but she is always the maidservant of Krishna. How can you keep your devotional enthusiasm? Of course, for wives, you have to see your husband, yourself as a servant of your husband, which is kind of natural. That's the Vedic style. But for the husband also, it's kind of natural to see the wife as his maidservant, somebody who's engaged in your service. It's natural to see as a subordinate and, also to enjoy. But that will become an obstacle on the path of your bhakti. For the man especially, it will become an obstacle because he'll become familiar. So then what is Srila Gaura Kisor Das babaji Maharaj's instruction, advice? You see, so first of all, the wife has to be a devotee. And if she is a devotee, then it's a very rare opportunity that you got a devotee wife. So now you should be very grateful and see her as a servant of Krishna. So she is also worshipable. For a wife, her husband is worshipable. Of course, if he's a devotee husband, then even more. And husband, if he has a devotee wife, see that wife as worshipable because she is Krishna's servant. That way, you can maintain your enthusiasm in devotional service. Instead of seeing the wife as an object of sense gratification, right? See her as a servant of Krishna. That means then she becomes worshipable. This is Srila Gaura Kisor Das babaji Maharaj's advice to a newly married man. You can imagine, newly married man. We are not talking about, 20, 30, 40-year married couple. Newly married man. One who wants bhojana, eating palatably, will spoil his bhajana. One who wants bhojana will spoil his bhajana, was a favorite quote of Srila Babaji Maharaj. In other words, eating here and there, simply to gratify the tongue, bhojana, destroys any attempts to worship Krishna, bhajan. So if you are fond of eating here and there, right, on the thela, in the restaurants, or, going to others' homes and eating, if you're very fond of eating like this, in other words, eating here and there simply to gratify the tongue, right? To gratify the tongue, it destroys any attempts to worship Krishna. So on one hand, you're attempting to worship Krishna, but you're not able to give up your desire to eat all kinds of palatable things. Then it's like trying to light a fire in fire sacrifice and pouring water on top of that. It won't catch fire like that. So eating here and there simply to gratify the tongue destroys any attempts to worship Krishna. Once a devotee ate some festival prasadam in his bhajan kutir. Babaji Maharaj would not speak to him for 3 days. One devotee ate some festival prasad. So in some festival, somebody had, arranged festival, some program, and he went and he took that prasad. He didn't even go and eat there. He got that prasad. He ate it in his own ashram, bhajan kutir. He got festival prasad. He ate it in his bhajan kutir. Babaji Maharaj would not speak to him for 3 days. On the 4th day, he said, "You accepted festival prasadam given by low-class harlots and beautiful women." That means the consciousness of the person who is offering that is also important. The consciousness of the people who are putting up that festival, that is also important. It says festival prasadam, but even that was not acceptable to Gaura Kisor Das babaji Maharaj. He says, "You accepted festival prasadam given by low-class harlots and beautiful women because you took food without considering its origin. Your bhajan is useless." So how careful we should be about what we eat. The essence of Srila Gaura Kisor Das babaji's instructions. The divine name of Krishna offers the one and only shelter. What is our only shelter? The divine name of Krishna. One should never try to remember Radha Damodar's transcendental pastimes by artificial methods. Don't picture in your mind or imagine Radha Krishna's pastimes artificially. You should simply chant. Constant chanting of the divine names will purify the heart by chanting Harinam, the syllables of the Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, will gradually reveal the spiritual form, qualities, pastimes of Sri Krishna. Then you will realize your own eternal spiritual form, service, and the 11 particulars of your spiritual identity. In pursuance of Babaji Maharaj's statement, what is his statement? Drag my dead body through the streets of Navadvip. So this was his instruction. Drag my dead body, after I die, drag my dead body through the streets of Navadvip. In pursuance of this instruction, a group of so-called advanced devotees proposed to commit the said sacrilege. So this is a sacred act. Now we should drag his body on the streets of Navadvip. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, however, challenged them. According to Shastra, one who has had carnal association with a loose woman, that means someone who's associating with a prostitute like that, within the last 24 hours, see how much, how liberal, like how much, space he has given. Not that these are all renounced Babajis, by the way, who have renounced. They call Babaji means what? You have given up all sense gratification and family and everything. Babaji means now you're supposed to be a pure devotee. 24 hours you're engaged in devotional service. That is a Babaji. So these are all so-called Babajis. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said anyone who has associated with a woman, even if they have associated after taking Babaji Vesh, even if they have associated once, means they have fallen down. But he said in the past 1 year, okay, before 1 year, if you have associated, forgiven. In the past 1 year. And then he made it shorter. He said in the past 6 months. Okay, in the past 1 month. In the past 3 days. And finally, in the past 24 hours. That means all the Babajis that were there who were going to drag the body of Srila Gaura Kisor Das babaji Maharaj on the street, all of them were having illicit sex every day. Not one of them could come forward and claim the body of Srila Gaura Kisor Das babaji Maharaj. Even when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, in the past 24 hours, any of you who has not touched the body of a woman in the past 24 hours, touch the body of a woman means who didn't have illicit sex, you can come and take the body. And not one of them dared to come forward and claim the body of Gaura Kisor Das babaji Maharaj. So in this context, we also hear the policemen, because it was a big thing, everybody knew what a great devotee Gaura Kisor Das babaji Maharaj was. So if they had his samadhi in their ashram, then they would get so many visitors coming. pilgrims visiting, and that way they will make money. That was the idea. They, their ashram will become popular. For that, they wanted his body. So they were claiming, I am his disciple, I am his disciple. All these people were claiming. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, my Guru Maharaj had only one disciple. That was himself. Nobody else. He gave Diksha only to one person. But then they started, no, how they were fighting. So then he said, my Guru Maharaj is so pure that only a pure person can touch his body. So anyone who has not associated with a woman can come and claim the body. Okay, the one who has not associated in 1 year can come. In the 6 months, in past 1 month, in past 3 days, in the last 24 hours, if any one of you who has not associated with a woman in the past 24 hours, you can come and claim. Then the police, because it was such a big commotion, right? They were fighting. Police was also there. So they said, do you want us to go and do some inquiry to find out who has done what, which person has done what? Because they can tell a lie, right? That I have not done. But see, purity is the force. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, no need. I will take by their word. Nobody had the guts to even come forward and tell a lie. They didn't have the guts in front of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. They backed off. They just backed down out of fear. This is purity. So that was today, the disappearance day of Srila Gaura Kisor Das babaji Maharaj. So, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, however, challenged them. According to Shastra, one who has had carnal association with a loose woman within the last 24 hours is contaminated and therefore not qualified to touch my Guru Maharaj. Hearing this bold statement, the black-hearted Brahmanas made a hasty retreat. On 19th November 1915, Srila Gaura Kisor Das babaji Maharaj joined the eternal blissful pastime of Gandharvika Giridhari. Gandharvika Giridhari is the deities of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. They are at Chaitanya Math in Mayapur, where we have the Samadhi also of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So, on 19 November 1915, Srila Gaura Kisor Das babaji Maharaj joined the eternal blissful pastime of Gandharvika Giridhari. His beloved disciple Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur established his Samadhi on the banks of Sri Chaitanya Math's Radha Kund near Lord Chaitanya's Yog Peeth in Sridham, Mayapur. In Brajalila, he serves Srimati Radharani as Gunamanjari. His Pushpa Samadhi stands besides the Radha Kunja Bihari Gaudiya Math near Radha Kund. I think one is enough because we are running out of time. Although there is more, you can read. There's 3 more biographies you can read on your own. But we can stop there today. Srila Gaura Kisor Das babaji Maharaj ki jai. Tirobhav Divas Tithi of Srila Gaura Kisor Das babaji Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Wow,
Mataji.
Mataji,
Hare
right?
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mataji? Priyanka Mataji said something.
And it's amazing. Wow, to hear and read this. I mean, what are the standards of our acharyas and time to introspect.
Yeah. We are so fortunate to come in the line of
That's you,
such
Mataji.
glorious devotees.